My name is Susan Hart and I'm the Dean of Strathclyde Business School. My role as Dean is to demonstrate to students who are visiting the site today that we are a large, diverse school, that we have a great variety of choice of programmes at the postgraduate level which are of a very high quality. And I want to reassure students that are thinking about making the choices as to how they would invest in their career that they will receive an excellent postgraduate education at Strathclyde, which will help them maybe transfer their existing skills into something that is more attuned to a particular area of business that they might like, be that marketing, be that accounting and finance, be that more general management, or even at the MBA level. And that those qualifications will really open doors for them to help them develop now and in the future for great careers. Strathclyde Business School is one of Europe's largest schools. It is a full-service school, which means that we have a large population of both undergraduate and postgraduate students, and we have a large population also of postgraduate research students, as well as quite a substantial number of academic staff and lots of visiting staff from all over the world. So what we can offer students is a great deal of depth and breadth on each of the subject areas that are covered by those 7 departments. So it's not as if a Masters in Marketing, for example, is being put together by a rather small number of staff. They're actually getting different perspectives from the world of marketing. Same with the MBA, very much a great focus on strategy implementation, on developing people, which are supported by a great deal of world-class research that is translated into the programmes, together with healthy exposure to business and industry, and indeed government and policy organisations, where they can learn about how they would put the information, the knowledge that is being discussed in the class into practice in future careers. Accreditation is an extremely rigorous process. It is done through a number of different methodologies. First of all, we have to report on our activities across a wide spectrum of the teaching and research that we do. And then the school is visited by leading academics at schools from around the world, who then examine and cross-examine and forensically examine everything that we've said that we do. And they also, more importantly than just looking at what we say we do, they talk to students and they talk to our industrial partners and they talk to other parts of the university to get an overall view of the quality of our programmes, the quality of our research and the quality of our interactions with industry. EQUIS accreditation is delivered by the European Foundation of Management Development, and in that case the peer review team came from a leading French business school, came from a leading Spanish business school, and also one of the major schools in Australia. So the team is really coming with a broad idea of what business schools really are like internationally, and they're bringing their wisdom and their experiences and their national perspectives to bear on the assessment that they make of Strathclyde Business School, and they have found us to be of sufficient quality across the areas of research and teaching and indeed knowledge exchange, and indeed our international connections, which are also very important for these accrediting bodies. When you come to Strathclyde, should you choose to come to Strathclyde, then you know that the courses and the school have been accredited internationally, and that puts us in the 1% of schools worldwide that are strong enough to achieve this level of accreditation. I'd like to say a little bit about research and why that's important in terms of the education that we can offer prospective students. Over 65% of the staff here at Strathclyde Business School were actually rated as either being internationally leading or world leading in terms of their research outputs, and that puts us in a very elite basket of schools, not only within the UK but also within the wider European business school complement. When students come to a leading institution such as Strathclyde Business School, they are expecting to get really cutting-edge knowledge. They're expecting to get knowledge, interactions that are derived from the experience of the academic staff in their fields of expertise, informed by what is happening in industry and in business and in other kinds of organisations. So it's important to really underline and to understand that when you're looking for the different types of master's programmes that you may be searching for, that having a sense of whether or not an academic is actually giving you the benefit of their research, or looking at the research that others have done and reporting that to you, is quite a big qualitative difference. So the fact that we have this very strong ranking from the research assessment exercise, where 65% of our staff carry out work which is world leading or internationally excellent, is a real hallmark of the quality of the input to the programmes that students would be exposed to should they decide to come to Strathclyde. But in addition to that, we have a number of awards annually that our members of staff win, international awards. So there was 23 different best paper awards given to staff across SBS recently. We have a big underpinning from industry and commerce and charities for research income. We have a huge range of publications in leading journals, and we actually have the editorships of a number of journals as well, and very strongly ranked journals internationally. We have over 300 live research links as well with international collaborators. So the breadth, the global reach and the intensity of our research is brought to bear on the courses that we offer across these 7 departments. So there really is a great deal of depth of thought at the very leading edge of what's happening in the real world that comes into our master's programmes at Strathclyde Business School. It's important that our courses at Strathclyde are well attuned to the needs of industry commerce, as well as, where appropriate, interrogating the stated needs of industry, commerce, governments and what have you, because after all the university is there to look at the broader picture. What we do at Strathclyde in our master's programmes is that we have a significant amount of industry commercial interaction with our programmes, whether that's guest speakers, whether that's live projects within companies. When we do live projects within companies, the students have to report back to the companies. It's not just an academic mark they receive. So we have a number of students who are working in groups for particular companies, both in the local Scottish area but also internationally. And then we have students that are working individually on consultancy programmes with companies. And in addition to that, we have a regular series of visitors from industry who are coming in to deliver parts of the lecturing programme, giving a different and very practical perspective on some of the theories that my academic colleagues will be delivering to them. I think one of the greatest things about Strathclyde Business School, when you come here, you meet people, some from your own country, but many from countries around the world, where you really get a global perspective on not only the knowledge that is intrinsic to the course you're studying, but also to different people's interpretation of that, and learning how to view a problem or a solution or a strategy from a different perspective is one of the most valuable life lessons you can learn, and there's a huge opportunity to do that at Strathclyde. I think another thing that's very important for our students here is that they have a great social life. They really do have a ball when they're here. Glasgow is a really buzzing city. It has one of the best music scenes anywhere in the UK, and there's a lot going on. There's many different festivals that come into the city, and that's just typical of the kind of things that our students do and organise for themselves. So they go away with relationships that will last them into the future and give them, hopefully, nurture and support in the years to come.